to the channel. I'm Jeremy. If you're new here, this is lacomidadejeremie. Today we're going to be talking about Pride 2019, and I'm going to be talking about myself specifically. I have done another video where I was on a panel and I shared my coming out story. I really didn't have much time. It was like 5 minutes, I believe, that I had to talk. So I didn't have much time to talk a lot about it, but I really wanted to share my story because I know that in the work that I'm doing in the community and with my experience, I feel like I have a lot to share. I feel like a lot of people still don't understand what it is to be a part of the LGBT community. I also know that I live out loud, and I live proud, and I live a pretty awesome life that I want to share my privilege with those of you that are not able to. So if you are seeking understanding, if you're seeking acceptance, if you're seeking something, I hope that you get that from this video. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So I was born to a Puerto Rican family in 1994, and I wanted to talk about my adolescence, growing up. I guess I can start with saying that growing up was really awesome. I have a pretty loving family made up of mainly females, and that's my immediate family that I grew up around. And it was an awesome growing up experience. But growing up, I was always more feminine and masculine, but I also had those feminine traits that really showed. I would remember having my hand like this, and I would be smacked for doing that because men had to have their hands like this. I remember I was always close to my grandma, as many of you guys know already. I would always be at her house, like on Sundays, and I would wear her long shirts. Well, in Puerto Rico they call them batas, which is basically just like a sleeping gown, but she would wear like these long t-shirts, and I would wear them around the house, just floating around the house. And I remember she would always get like the Sunday newspaper ads, and so I would always go towards the Toys R Us ads and the Kmart ads, and I would cut out like the Barbies, and I would also cut out the cartoons that came on the newspaper. But specifically, I would love playing with like the Barbies and the feminine toys in the newspaper ads, because obviously my family wouldn't buy me those things. And my family wasn't so like against me being gay growing up, or against me being feminine, that they didn't let me. I think they really did let me do whatever I wanted to do. But I was still told that those things were wrong, that those things were not what boys are supposed to do. I also remember times where I would tell my mom specifically where I thought these boys were cute, and my mom would be like, no, you can't say that, you can't do that, boys are supposed to like girls. And I don't think she did it to where she wanted me to be straight. I think it was more of like protecting me. So where we grew up around is the city, so I remember growing up, it was a really harsh experience. Like there were shootings, and like it was the hood basically. And so like what we grew up around wasn't the safest neighborhood, although we had much more privilege than most people did over there. We lived in a house that we owned, we had our own cars. So I did grow up pretty privileged. However, I did grow up in a tough neighborhood around tough people, and I think my family really just wanted to protect me. And I don't think they fully understood what I was or who I was, but they understood that they needed to protect me. So for that, I really thanked them for, and I love them for that. So yeah, growing up wasn't the easy experience. I was always bullied for being me. I honestly didn't know what being gay was. I didn't know what the word gay was, or who I was specifically. I just knew that I was attracted to boys, but I had to like girls. And I knew that I couldn't say that I liked boys, so I said that I liked girls. And I would have little girlfriends in elementary school, and I would just like hide it. A lot of times people would be like, he's so shy, he doesn't like being around people, he loves being at his grandmother's house. And I don't think I was shy because I was nervous being around people. I just know that growing up, I was always told that I was gay, that I was always made fun of, that kids were really mean to me, that family members were really mean to me. And they would tell me that I was gay, they would tell my family that I was gay, or that I was too feminine. And so I think that is really what made me stay hidden. Like I would not want to go outside with my brother and our friends. I would not want to leave my grandmother's house. I would not want to go to school. And it was because of how mean kids can be, as well as family members, like grown adults could be. So I hated being around people because I knew if I was around them that that experience would not be a great experience. That really held me back from ever coming out, from ever saying anything or having any like trust in my family to come out. Also having any trust to be around people. I hated being around people. I had friends, but I feel like I didn't have like friends that like were really my friends, if you know what I mean. Like, I just hated being around people because people were so mean to me growing up that it just really hurt to be around them. So I really just was a loner. I loved being alone. I loved playing by myself. I loved drawing because it really just distracted my mind from how cruel people really can be. But I think really the importance of having those around you that may not understand or may want to just protect you, may not want you to say that you're gay or say that you like boys, like my mom and my grandmother, and knowing that they loved me and knowing that they expressed that love for me, knowing that I was protected, I think that really helps. So my advice to a lot of those people who have children specifically, who you may think are part of the LGBT community, I say come to them with love. If you have questions for them, question them in the way that they know that they are not being questioned where they have to hide stuff from you. Help them understand that you are there for them, not because you are understanding, even though you might not understand. Let them know that you're there for them, that you're only questioning them because you want to protect them, that you want to understand who they are, and that you want to help them understand who they are. Just remember, just like you're learning, that they too are learning. Like, I had to learn who I was. And I had to teach myself who I was and to love myself. I didn't love myself growing up because I was something that I was, but I had to hide it, and I couldn't be who I was because the world was telling me that you can't do this. So I had to teach myself to love myself. I had to teach myself to be me, to love me, to be who I am, and show the world who I was. And in that sense, I kind of taught my family to love me. I think with that in mind, understand your children. Understand that they are still going through what they need to go through to get where they're going to be in life. So let them know that you love them. Let them know that you understand them. And just be there for them. Because at the end of the day, if your child is not wanting to tell you what goes on in school, or that kids are being mean to them, or saying that they are gay or this or that at the end of the day, they know that you are there for them, even if you don't understand. And let them know that you don't understand, but you want to understand, you want to learn with them. So that is my advice to those of you that have those kids in your life. Just love them, love them, love them, because really that's all I need. Fast forwarding to my coming out. So I specifically recall how this happened because it was a very scary experience for me. I had a friend in 8th grade. It was like about to be the end of the school year. We were about to go to high school. But before we left school, I remember my friend, she was gay. She had a girlfriend. And they were just so out and proud in middle school and so young. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. Like, that is me. That's who I am. Like, how do I get to that? So I started to talk to her more. This was like the MySpace time where we would message each other and I would talk and talk and talk, and it was like the most amazing experience. And I was like, wow, like, how can this girl be out and proud and just like live her life this way? Like, I could never. So through her, I was able to meet my first boyfriend ever. And I remember specifically, I was on vacation the summer before high school, and I had a MySpace profile, very nicely decorated, and there was a picture of my boyfriend on there. I got a call from my mom, and my mom asked me, tell me the truth. Tell me if you're gay. And I was so scared to say anything. I didn't want to admit to anything, but I knew that she saw the photo. I knew that somebody told her. So I simply told her, I will talk to you when I get back home from vacation. I can't talk right now. And then I get back home, and I continued to hide it, even though she knew. I did not want to talk about it. And that is kind of how I came out to the world and to my family. And I remember the reactions from my family members weren't the greatest. And I remember my grandmother was telling me, wait till I was 18, wait till I understood, and wait till I was older to know, like, this, if this is who I truly am, and if I really do think I am this way, to just wait till I'm older. But as a young person, I was always a rebel. To this day, I'm still a rebel. And I was like, no, this is me. This is who I am. Like, you are going to accept me. So I continued to date, I continued to grow, and it was difficult. There were times where my mom and I would be screaming at each other because I wanted to see my boyfriend and she wouldn't allow me to. And she was honestly protecting me and really taking care of me. And I got to the point where I just didn't care anymore what anyone said, and I was out and I didn't care, and I told the world. So I remember specifically like 9th grade, 14-year-old Jeremie coming out, and my confidence, like I got that boost of confidence where I was like, this is you, Jeremie, this is you, like you are this is who you've been searching for. Like, although you are still looking for love and you're still learning like what kind of guy you like, who you are, what you want to look like. But at that moment in time, although I was still growing up and I was still turning into an adult, I knew at that age, like 14-year-old Jeremie, 9th grade of high school, 2008, I knew that this was me. That this is who I was longing for, this is who I was searching for, and who I needed. So fast forward to my adult life, I graduated at the age of 17, I started college at the age of 17, and I knew that I needed to make money. So I started searching for jobs, and boy oh boy, can I tell you that the real world was not made for us feminine boys. I will say that my job search for a lot of times was really difficult. Retail, they love the gay boys. They love us, they want us. But if you want like an office job or those kind of jobs, you have to have your hair tied up. You have to wear a tie. You have to suppress yourself. So a lot of times retail is normally the jobs for gay people, specifically feminine gay boys, because women love gay boys. So the sales companies really want to hire those people to attract people to buy stuff. And at a certain point in my life, I was over that. And so I started going to other jobs and other companies and started bringing what I knew to those tables when I was interviewing. And a lot of times, people didn't accept me. People didn't want to interview me. Once they saw me, I knew that they weren't going to hire me. I remember specifically my boss from my last job, before moving to Connecticut, told me that she didn't want to hire me or was afraid to hire me because I was a feminine boy. I was gay. And she didn't know how the company, the co-workers and the clients would interact with me or could handle me. After getting to work with me, she told me before I left that I was the best decision that she's ever made in hiring a person. I'm really thankful for that manager. We're really good friends to this day. I love her. And I think she really helped me see like why I wanted to do what I do now. So now I work at a nonprofit where I'm fighting every single day, meeting with partners, meeting with companies that may not understand what Latinos are. And I also bring to the table what an LGBT person is, and that equity matters, that we matter and we belong at those freaking tables. So my advice to anybody that's in like their career search currently that is LGBT and is seeking to be in a space that is accepting, I think retail is a really good place to start out at. But know that you can grow and you can go to the corporate side, you can go to the company side, you can also work in other spaces that you might not think are LGBT friendly. The world is changing, guys. And it's only going to change if we continue to apply to these places, if we continue to show up. So 1, show up. 2, bring your badass resume, show them who the hell you are, bring your skill sets, and know what you're talking about. 3, do not accept no bullshit. If you're working for a company and you know that they're harassing you, bring it up. Whoever you have to talk to, I do not accept any bullshit, and I do not work for anyone that doesn't accept me for who I am. Or, don't be afraid to show who you are. No, me being gay is not who I am. It's not all that I am, but it is a part of who I am, and it's part of who has formed me into what I am today. So as an adult and working, my life has been amazing. I have been able to be in rooms full of white men and show them that I know my shit. I know what I'm talking about. And just because I'm gay doesn't mean I can't be at the same table as y'all. So bring that same confidence to the table, show them you know your stuff, and don't take no BS because life's too short for it. So June 2019, National Pride Month. 25 years later, Jeremie stands here and he is happy. He is proud of who he has become. He is tighter than he's ever been with his family, has the best relationship with them, has the most amazing friend group, has been, as of tomorrow, in a 5-year relationship with the love of his life, has in-laws that are the most amazing people, has a career and colleagues that he works with on a daily basis that are accepting, that understand that we continue and need to continue to fight towards a more welcoming world, country, and society. I know that I am at a place where I can share my story. I share it through this lens with you guys, and I am who I am every single day. I share these recipes and cooking and like vlogging, and behind that camera or behind those recipes is a person who is LGBT. So I continue to share that story to like normalize who we are, because we're a part of this world. The people who are cooking your food, are making your clothing, are selling to you, are helping you in any situation, there's LGBT people all around you. So continue to support us, continue to hire us, continue to pay us, continue to like fight for us, vote for us. For those of you that are going through a hard time, that are not able to live out in the open or cannot come out, know that we love you and we understand. We are not judging you. We are here for you. So if you need to talk to anybody, reach out to someone. Find a friend that you can confide in, a family member that you can confide in. If you are going through a hard time and need someone to talk to and have nobody, message me. I'm always happy to talk to anybody. Please know that this is a place of acceptance. Lacomidadejeremie was created to share my experience, share my story, and to let the world know that we're here. We're proud to be here. We're gay as hell, and we're gonna continue to be here. So thank you guys again so much for listening to my story. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Happy Pride Month, and I hope you guys continue to spread love, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. That's why I ask you how you mean, don't you know about the